Well, apparently we're starting the year with a top 10 video, and what better topic to cover than my top 10 favourite levels in video games? So far, and subject to change of course. Yeah, unfortunately, this is just one of those lists that will be changing regularly for the rest of time. Now remember, levels and chapters are different to missions and quests, so don't expect any Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption to appear in this video. I'm also limiting the list to one level per franchise, hence the reason you won't be seeing any Crash Bandicoot on this list either. Hey, calm down. That just means that Crash Bandicoot will get his own favourite levels video in the future. Yeah! A Square-Eyed Jack top 10 about my favourites of something, and a large chunk of my favourite games aren't even featured? How the hell did that happen? Now I know Mafia 2 is technically an open world game, but it really isn't. The world is boring as fuck and the game is split up into chapters, so get off my case. Having replayed Mafia 2 back when Mafia 3 was released, because I'm povo and don't have a current gen system, I found myself not enjoying the game as much as I did my first time playing. Having said that, however, this game's storytelling is really on point. The story of a desperate criminal trying to make his way in the world by joining the Mafia during the end of the Second World War. His mission is delayed, however, as a job gone wrong lands him in prison. Now this isn't GTA, you actually get to see inside the walls and have to fight to survive, making friends in high places to get by. While it doesn't last all that long, I just think it's a really interesting storytelling device, and the atmosphere is really well done too. And of course, what kind of prison level would it be without a shower showdown beating other men? Beating them up, I mean. Yeah. Having only played the trilogy of Uncharted games I have on PS3, I can easily say that the final installment is my favourite. While the first and especially second game were very good, 3 just did everything right by me. Even though there are a lot of levels I'm not a big fan of. But while I am a big fan of exploring the chateau and the following escape through the burning building, Stowaway and the Rub Al Khali steal the fucking show for me. After Nate has already been through so much, he then has to fight to keep from falling to his death above a scorching desert. If it was me up there, I would have just said fuck it and let go, because surviving means walking in the hot sand for days without any food or water, with only hallucinations and chafe. Thank God they didn't feel the need to cover that part of Nate's struggle. But in all seriousness, this is excellent storytelling based purely on the fact that it's the first time I actually cared for the character I was playing as throughout the entire series. That speaks volumes on the impact this had on me. Call of Duty, the cool teen games for cool teens and their cool Xbox 360 LAN parties. Cool as fuck. Of all the Duty calls out there, I could fill an entire list with awesome levels. Cliffhanger, Rebirth, Blood Brothers, or The Only Easy Day Was Yesterday, to name a small few of my favourites. How could I pick one? Well, I'm not going to pick one of those. Instead, I'm going to pick my level based around how it brought outside eyes to the video game world with 3 simple words.
Remember, no Russian.
To this day, 7 years after its relevancy, no Russian has actually remained a relevant talking point for media and bored housewives alike in the discussion of desensitization and violent video games. It's a topic I studied so much in my school years, and the simple fact that footage of this was played on local bumfucking nowhere news in the latter part of 2016 solidifies its impact. It gave players the choice to mow down innocent civilians during a terror attack to remain undercover, or stand back and watch the violence take place. I've seen people struggle with that moral decision legitimately, and for that reason, I can fully respect what this level taught us about our own personal character and moral decision making. Brilliantly immersive storytelling at its finest, in my opinion. Now this is an interesting one, after my brutal but fair dissection of this game last year. Medieval struggles with lots of backtracking, and especially when trying to craft a story I want to invest in. That's something I take very seriously when it comes to critiquing majority of the levels in video games. But I'm willing to remove myself from that here. Scarecrow Fields is the best example of how this game should have approached all of its levels. It creates an amazing atmosphere, there is plenty of room to move around, a good variety of enemies, interesting level structure, and a few hidden secrets too. It's the standout level in this game for me, followed at a close second with the Haunted Ruins later on. It's a simple level with a lot going on, and it's the reason I found myself disliking the rest of the game, playing such a well done level so early on in the experience. Such a shame that a lot of the levels following this couldn't live up to expectations. Okay, now we're talking. Something I've loved since my childhood. In fact, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro was one of the games I got with my PS1 for Christmas back in the day. Wow, I sucked at this game, and I haven't gotten any better in 14 years, sadly. But moving on from my pathetic existence, my favourite levels in this game used to be the ones in the train yard, as it took me a long few years before I ever actually made it to them. But in my mature opinion, my favourites are now the second and third levels, Nighttime in New York. Spider-Man has to patrol the neighbourhood beating up thugs and extinguishing fires. Then he takes it to the rooftops to track down the mysterious figure. And of course the roofs are riddled with heavily armed militia. Well, that escalated quickly. Hey, anyone from this part of the world, is this normal? Like, do you actually have to deal with this on a daily basis? Automatic laser-guided anti-aircraft cannons on the roof of every building? Seems pretty dangerous, and that's coming from the guy who has to deal with all of this shit. Hey, that actually came full circle. Perfect! Just like these levels. You saw this one coming for sure, after I told you it was going to be here in the previous top 10. Well worth a watch, by the way. Huh, at the same number too, Jack? The fuck are you doing, you lazy cunt? This was the first level I ever saw from Left 4 Dead, clearly hooking me until the day they count to 3. I think this environment is just appealing to me because I can relate to it. I used to go out to my uncle's farm all the time under the mountains, so it was always really foggy. I'm nostalgic for fog, just thought I'd make that clear. So seeing the abandoned train yards infected with low visibility and always wanting to explore the non-explorable areas throughout this campaign, Blood Harvest is my go-to level for zombie killing action, as I'm sure you know by this point. Okay, this one should be pretty obvious. It's everyone's favourite Ratchet & Clank level. Sarathos from Ratchet Gladiator. Fucking kill me. The first time I played a game from this series was via the greatest demo disc of all time, which featured a fully playable version of Mactar Resort. Everything was here, from the tractor beam area, the Bolt Planet, and of course, every single challenge in the battle arena. Every single one. Not to mention all the variants of the Canyon hoverbike race too. There is so much here for such a simple demo, and even after playing all of the Ratchet & Clank games that I have, Mactar Resort can't be beaten in my eyes. Here Here is one of the greatest puzzle games ever created, filled with unique personality and interesting challenge. It's hard not to love a lot of the levels in this game, aside from level 6 of course. The show stealer in my opinion is definitely the time travel levels. You're required to switch between different time periods and plant seeds, which will have grown into climbable trees when you travel back to the present time, along with moving rocks to create cover for yourself thousands of years in advance, and bringing back Gossamer's stupid red head to fight a fucking bull. Yeah, of course Looney Tunes steals the show when it comes to batshit insane, not to mention the super secret time travel level is also a really enjoyable one, if you just can't get enough of that groovy as fuck music. Here we go, the king of the jungle and the champion of platformers in the early 90s. With a trilogy this absolutely groundbreaking, where can I even start when trying to pick a favourite level? The jungles, the icy mountains, the terrifying industry zones, and the greatest underwater levels in the history of video games. Nothing can touch them. And that's just the first game. However, I'm less knowledgeable with the rest of the series, but even if I'd played all of the levels in 2 and 3, nothing would stop me from choosing Minecart Carnage. A vehicle level at number 2? How dare you, Jack? But that's just the thing, it's one of the best vehicle levels of all time, as it still remains true to the game's genre, a platformer. All of that aside, however, this is purely a nostalgic pick for me. When I think of Donkey Kong, this is the only image that comes to mind. The focus, the intensity, it's a level that took me an entire night to beat as a kid, playing this with my cousin, and when we finally remembered to jump over that last Kremling, it was one of the best memories of my early gaming years. I used to play the absolute shit out of that level as a kid, and to this day, it's a must play for me whenever I put the game in. Now, before we take a look at the final level, here are some honourable mentions. Feels so good to return to this game after so long. My favourite level of any video game is downtown from The Simpsons Hit and Run. Again, it could be argued that it's an open world, but I disagree. The game is split up into 7 chapters, and we visit this area of Springfield twice. First as Bart, and then later on as Apu. Surprisingly, I used to play as Apu primarily over Bart. No idea why. It's such a great level regardless of who you're playing as, however. Lots of references to the show, of course, plenty of places to race, jump and crash through shit, and the music for Bart's time spent here? So nostalgic for me. All of the missions were funny and always had you chasing people, collecting items, or killing the fuck out of innocent civilians. Yeah, suck it, bitch. That'll teach you to praise Krusty's Super Funhouse. It's just such a great environment to explore, especially as an impressionable kid who loved The Simpsons. Well, that was my top 10 favourite levels in video games. I hope you enjoyed them. Let me know what your favourites are with a comment down below, followed with liking, subscribing and sharing the video. I'm Square Eye Jack, and have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.